Cassandra here. I'm getting ready for my third podcast that I'm about to do. I'm running short on time as usual, but I wanted to get a second take because the storms came in last night and messed up what I was trying to do. I've got about 30 minutes of music, so I'm going to try to fit in about 30 minutes of talking. And so I've got this going now. I'm at about 30 seconds now, so let's begin. Cassandra here with Audio Cave's Underground Sounds and RFB Audio's Homegrown Radio Show. Audio Cave is out of Kansas City, Kansas, but offered to help out and what I would need to get this show onto 88.3 FM, the voice of the people out of Little Rock, Arkansas. I only requested an hour of their time and an hour of yours to talk about things art related, anything art related, music, paintings, literature, graphics, games, you name it. I want to talk about it. Anything spiritual, scientific, metaphysical. I mean, it's all cool. I just would like to avoid any, main topics that everyone tends to get more angrily debated over. So enough of that. What I want the whole show to focus on truly is about growth. That's what the homegrown really stands for. It is not any kind of reference to anything alternative medicinal wise, even though it has definitely attracted a certain kind of crowd, which I'm fine. This is a multi-genre show. We are not limited to just one style or one specific art, just namely beginners and getting people's names out. A lot of the self-promotion, stuff like that. Anything regarding health or just betterment, self-betterment. But again, the main focus of this show is really just quote-unquote local music. Local is anything regional to wherever you're listening from. So even though I'm recording this in Little Rock, I'd like to invite you to forward your music to me via our Facebook homepage, Homegrown Radio Show, that lists all of our different stations and shows, which is found under Homegrown Promotions, but also YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, or just Google me at hgpllcradio@gmail.com. Tell me a little bit about yourself, anything that you would like for me to talk about, and definitely send me a link or an MP3, even though I don't really like the MP3 quality. I do prefer the quality of a CD. Again, it's all about just getting started and having something in common with the other artists in the area, whether that area is LA or New York City or Little Rock or Germany. But back to the music. This first band I'd like to start with is one of the more recent bands that I've met. I'm a bassist, so I know more bassists than any other band member as far as, any other bands are concerned. But as the bassist from September Sky, being one of my friends, they are out of Indianapolis. And I told him I was doing the show and that I wanted a friend and just needed a little bit more personal touch added to my show. So he said, wait, that's awesome. And said, by the way, be sure to mention that May 19th, they're opening for Sevendust at the Eclectic Room in Angola, Indiana. And so they have some more things going on. This just added to their excitement, being able to play them on here. And I'm sure with any band, that's trying to get situated and set up. That's what this show is all about. And that's why I'm happy to have a show like this. I know what it's like to be an excited, up-and-coming band. And even though other stations do what I do, we aren't competing. The more exposure, the better. I just got to avoid certain fees by avoiding certain songs and avoiding certain topics. Since this also does air on YouTube, Podbeam, and streaming from our website, homegrownpromo.com. Plus, I have it set up to play internationally, which they have some crazy laws overseas about music, and I don't feel like studying all of them. I just want to premiere bands and not get sued. That's it. That's all I ask. And to love one another. Is that so hard these days? I guess so. But yes, you heard right. This is also a podcast and video log. So that being said, I'm happy to premiere for my first song for 88.3. This band called September Sky. this is about the heaviest I could go with the show if we make it to the FM radio. But the talent is there. I mean, if you can't hear the art in this, then maybe this show would possibly appear to be mostly a rock show, namely because, well, that's really all I know. But nah, this is a multi-genre station. We will play it all. We play all the local music, no matter where you live. So again, September Sky. This song's called Fallacy. Again, that's my buddies in September Sky. Alrighty then. Haven't done that. I do want to give a shout out to another associate of mine, attorney Dr. Cracker de Scoob Esquire, which I'm joking. That's not his name. I do call him Scoob, I presume, but he has featured as a host with me on previous shows, as well as a partner when it comes to just the music business. And a seedling of ours grew into this little baby of his that he eventually called Delta Dwellers Music Collective, featuring artists from the Pine Bluff, Swampy Delta area of southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, Mississippi. But again, another local show premiering local artists. So, way to go. We did a little skit down in Pine Bluff for one of their block parties, and that was really fun setting that up. And we learned a lot through failure and we learned a lot through success. And, that's just kind of how you grow, right? So I'd like to play a song that Scoob did. Well, he did way back before all this radio stuff happened anyway, most likely. I want to show that at this point, I'm not really concerned with quality of sound or length of time or whether it's lackluster or handstands. I mean, just send me your links, even if it's just a YouTube video, which I kind of prefer right now. And let's all help to promote and support and share with our friends their achievements as well. So when you grow, we grow. I mean, that's how that works. So also shout out to Caffeine Radio, where all this began. And speaking of caffeine and Caffeine Radio, I have a track here from my co-host from Caffeine Radio, Mr. Scooby's project called Spiderweb Mind. And this title is called Unrequited. Like I said before, send me your links. If your band wants to be interviewed, send me that too. I'd love a bio or anything else to help pass this next hour. I mean, it does seem like an extremely long hour. It's sad. I mean, I'm only 7 minutes into this recording and I've got to talk a lot more than that. So this is, yes, a pre-recorded show. I am doing this from my lovely office at Homegrown right now. Of course, this will go live, and when it goes live, or when we do potentially start going live, that'll be when you really know that we're getting our P's and Q's, situated and dotting our I's, crossing our T's, and so that's growth, and that's what this show's really all about. That's what Homegrown's about. Again, this is a multi-genre show. I may draw the line at like death metal and mumble rap. I mean, I tend to play, I guess, what sounds digestible to me. I mean, some music's just too much for me to handle. I mean, I'm not knocking thrash or trap. I'm just saying I'm probably not going to play it here. Just saying. It's my show. I can do that, I think. Maybe not. But it's my show. I can do that, I think. Maybe not. We'll find out later, I guess. I said that again because my notifications went off on my computer, so I have to remember that to edit that part out. This next song is very far from death metal. It's way on the other end. This is outlaw country, and Shaylin is like a sister to me. So definitely big shouts to the bands that have been with me since the beginning of this radio show I did that I had a year ago. I've been self-taught in radio, and I'm sure I'm doing it all wrong right now, but hey, nothing that feels good is ever good for you, right? So I suppose the opposite holds true. I mean, yeah, I'm sure I'm doing just fine. But Shaylin is originally from Utah and that little Salt Lake City area, but this actually comes out of Nashville. Let me check here. She is nominated for many awards for the ISSA Awards. That's the International Singer-Songwriters Association. She's looking at Female Vocalist of the Year, Songwriter of the Year, and album of the year, both in that and the Josie Music Awards for her album She's a Cowgirl. So way to go, Shaylin. I mean, I definitely want to support you and helping you, premiere your music on more than just your regional area. So you can find the link to vote for her on her Facebook or LinkedIn pages. That's Shay Lynn, or well, heck, on mine if you know me. Now you'll find those links. So this song is called "Souped Up Purple Truck," and it's a reminder to just be energetic, be positive, be happy, but be unique and own your style. And this chick owns her style. She's definitely rebel country. So hashtag rebel country chick. And this goes out to you, Shaylin from Little Rock. So way to go. That's Shaylin out of Nashville. Just like RFB Audio out of Nashville. They make up the internet portion of my show, and they make that possible. They also sponsor another show that I do. I loved Nashville when I went. It was better than my hometown, which is Springfield, Missouri. But Springfield really wasn't all that bad. They have a pretty eclectic live music scene, I thought. This band that I'm about to play really spawned out of that eclectic live music scene. They are called The Reality of Yourself, though I just call them Troy. They've played Rocklahoma numerous times, and they also have a few shows coming up in the Missouri area. Not to mention, I wouldn't be surprised to find them on Rocklahoma. I didn't see them this year, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't reading them wrong. I mean, there's so many different things going on at Rocklahoma. So again, if you get a chance to go, and if even better, if you get a chance to play, way to go. That's a big deal for this area. Little Rock doesn't talk about Rocklahoma a whole lot. I think that's more of a Springfield, Oklahoma thing, but we should definitely be pushing that, supporting more music out of this area. Back to Troy, though. These guys were the inspiration from the very beginning. All I really wanted to do was to get them to play in Little Rock. And I remember contacting every radio station that I could, and nobody would play them locally because they weren't local themselves. And so it was really hard to build that fan base for them before they could even come. And then eventually they got to the point where they were so big that it probably wasn't worth them really to come. I mean, there were some guarantees. There were some door splits that just didn't appeal to them. That's kind of how the music scene is here. So I know that in other times, other places, sometimes you have to even pay to play, or you have to purchase your tickets in advance, which I do see they do that a lot of time at like Stick It in Your Ear. Well, I wanted to play a song by them called Gallows, not the Gallows, but just Gallows. It did seem like a good switch up from back into the rock. I mean, it is subtle. Don't be confused. These guys are definitely rock. Check out Troy with the song Gallows. They were definitely my biggest inspiration before I even decided to try booking and getting into bands. Before I even moved away from Springfield to the Little Rock area. So they're awesome. Check them out.